Good morning. Sandwich is a mixture. The components in the sandwich can be separated physically. Water is a compound that made of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. How to separate water molecule back into oxygen and hydrogen atoms? Let's look at today's lesson.
The content standard of this lesson is 6.3 compound. At the end of this lesson, you are able to separate compounds using chemical methods, differentiate between chemical change and physical change, differentiate between mixtures and compounds. Last lesson, you have learned that a compound consists of two or more elements that are combined chemically in a chemical reaction. This newly formed product has its own characteristics. For example, rust is a compound formed by chemical reaction between iron and oxygen. You have also learned about mixture. A mixture is made up of two or more elements or compounds that are mixed physically. When a mixture is formed, no chemical reaction takes place. The chemical properties of a mixture are same as those of its components because no new substance is formed. For example, sandwich is a mixture of breads, vegetable, and meat. Mixtures can be separated physically, but compound cannot be separated physically. Let's learn about separation of compounds. Compounds cannot be separated physically like mixtures because the elements in a compound are bonded chemically. Therefore, a compound can only be separated by using chemical method such as electrolysis. What is electrolysis? Electrolysis is the chemical decomposition or breakdown of a compound into its elements by passing through electric current. There are two types of electrodes. The electrode connected to the positive terminal of the dry cells is called positive electrode or anode, while the electrode connected to the negative terminal of the dry cells is called the negative electrode or cathode. Water is a compound. A water molecule is made up of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Water molecules can be broken down into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas during electrolysis. During electrolysis of water, gas bubbles are formed on both electrodes. This happens because the oxygen gas is discharged at anode while hydrogen gas is discharged at cathode. The volume of hydrogen gas produced is twice the volume of oxygen gas produced. This shows that the ratio of hydrogen to oxygen in a molecule of water is 2:1. H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. In Chapter 5, you have learned about physical properties and chemical properties. Next, let's look at the differences between physical change and chemical change. Physical change does not form a new substance. Examples are melting, freezing, and dissolving. The formation of mixture is an example of physical change. Chemical change forms a new substance that is different from the original substances. Examples: rusting of iron, photosynthesis, and cell respiration. The formation of compound is an example of chemical change. Let's make a comparison between physical change and chemical change. During physical change, it does not form new substance. During chemical change, forms new substance. During physical change, the properties of substances remain the same. During chemical change, the properties of the substances and products are not the same. During physical change, the chemical composition of the substances remain the same. During chemical change, the substances and products have different chemical composition. During physical change, need less energy, whereas during chemical change, needs more energy. The formation of compound is a chemical change, while the formation of mixture is a physical change. What are the differences between compounds and mixtures? The examples of compound are water, salt, and carbon dioxide. The examples of mixture are seawater, air, and soil. During the formation of compound, the components in the compound are combined chemically, whereas during the formation of mixture, the components in the mixture mix physically. During the formation of compound, new substance is formed. During the formation of mixture, no new substance is formed. The properties of the components in the compound shows new properties that are different from the original element, whereas the properties of components in the mixture retain its original properties. To separate a compound can only be separated chemically, for example, by using electrolysis method. The separation of mixture, it can be separated physically, for example, using evaporation method, distillation method, or flotation method. In terms of energy change, usually there's an energy change during the formation of compound, whereas usually there's only a little or no energy change during the formation of mixture.
Sandwich is a mixture. The components in the sandwich mix physically. Therefore, it can be separated physically too. Water is a compound. The elements in the compound combine in a chemical reaction. Therefore, a compound needs to be separated chemically too. That's all for today's lesson. Thank you.